Hello guys and welcome back. This is Baron and today I'm going to continue with the Los Extranjeros, and they are 5 members, and I'll be going through their statistics, their details, so you know what they will be bringing to the table once they are released into Elite Squad. The rumor mill says it's going to happen maybe sometime this week or maybe next week. Most likely it will happen during an update. Obviously I don't know when that will, but yeah, when there's an update they will probably be introduced into the game. I have to say that I have mixed feelings. They have a lot of strong characters, but they also have some characters that feel slightly underwhelming. But I'll let you guys decide for yourself. So just short again, this is from the Special Forces Orb number 3 that they're releasing, and the cleaners will be part of it. It's in a different video if you haven't seen it. And then today I'm going to do Los Extranjeros, and then I'm going to release another video about the 11th character, who's an R6 Silver Soldier.
Midway upon the journey of our life, we found ourselves within a forest dark. Which in the very thought renews the fear. This devil is as black as he is painted.
Okay guys, now we have Mquina. I'm not good with these names, but just bear with me. So his active ability is the Phobos crossbow. He will fire a silent crossbow bolt at the current target. If in stealth, he will damage the target for 300% ability power, otherwise he will damage for 150% ability power. I'm not going to go in too much about the active right now because it works with his passive, which is not very common usually, that a character has an active ability that uses the passive he has. So the passive ability that La Mquina uses is Optical Camouflage. Permanently in stealth, and if damaged, lose stealth for 5 seconds. While in stealth, all allies receive plus 30% weapon power. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this guy. So the passive ability is that he will always be in stealth, which means that you would probably prefer to have him somewhere in the back of the line, so he will always have the stealth. Because obviously while he is in stealth, he will buff all your other members, including himself. He will then, so everybody will have plus 30% weapon power. Now, if he gets hit, which could be from a weapon that has the large cone, it could be the line weapon, it could be a grenade, anything really, large radius, that kind of thing, he will then lose it for 5 seconds. But while he has it, his ability is just to hit one target with, I mean, it's okay, but 300% ability power is very rare to find on a hero. So if you bumped in, for instance, Anna in here, he would do 450% damage because his ability power will increase, which means that this 300% would increase in the damage. So let's say he would have 10k. Okay, so he does 30,000. If you throw in Anna, she will then grant plus 50% ability power, which means that his ability power will go from 30,000 to 45,000. So he should be able to one-shot a character, basically, with this. So I see him as a very dangerous character. He doesn't have much else. Everything he has benefits him, but then, of course, the weapon power benefits the whole group. I'd like to see if I can get my hands on him early on, just to try him out and see. But teaming him with Anna and nobody else, just Anna, and then obviously 3 other operators that you would like to use, I feel that he will be a very good executor, especially for the 300% ability power. You just gotta make sure that he stays in, like safe in the back, so he doesn't take any damage when you activate him. So obviously his ability should only be activated when he actually is in stealth. So that was La Mquina. The next one up is Elozo. Rumble in the Jungle, that's his active ability. Challenges the current target, cleansing all negative effects, taunting the target for 15 seconds. That's a long time. 15 seconds, and also damaging them for 100% ability power, and also receiving a negative 50% damage reduction for the duration. If the taunted enemy attempts to cast their active ability during this time, assert your dominance and fearing them for 5 seconds and thus ending your ability. So I'm gonna just go straight into the passive here as well. So the passive ability, Carbon Fiber Body Armor. He will receive a negative 30% weapon damage. So he's obviously a tank, and to have a taunt for 15 seconds, that's that's pretty good. The only thing is that he will target a single individual. So if you know there's someone in a lane that you'd like to control for quite a while in terms of taunting, then just move him up there, just in case. Or if you know that one of the enemy teams are just about to cast their ability, just move him there, trigger his ability, so he's, you know, doing his taunt, keeping the 15 seconds, because once the enemy does his ability, you will cancel it by fearing them, and then that's not bad. So it is a way to cancel the enemy casting. So it seems like Elozo is a really good character when you want to cancel an enemy. So aside from the fact that he's obviously built like a tank and he has all the stuff for a tank, his passive is pretty good. It's only for weapon damage, which means that he will take less damage from just weapons really when they do firing. He will take less damage, from weapon fire. When it comes to the ability power, like as I said, as I mentioned in his active, he'll receive 50% less damage, which means that refers to anything that has to do with damage. Ability power, it has to do with weapon power, so it's not closed into one section. That's all damage that he would receive. So he should be quite durable during this time. So not much really to say about him, aside from the fact that he's a good tank. I don't see him having a lot of offensive abilities, but yeah, having that taunt for a while is not a bad idea. And then we have El General. So his active ability is Take Over. Forcefully take over the battle, damaging all enemies for 40% ability power, and then executing any enemies that are below 15% health. Surviving enemies will receive a negative 20% weapon power for 5 seconds. Okay, so he's a good executor, obviously, because even if you can't reach, for instance, an enemy that's in the back, usually when you have 3 guys in the bottom lane or 3 guys in the top lane and you start hurting that one enemy who then swaps, we either run down the lane or run somewhere in the back, he's usually already very well damaged. It's just that he hides so you can't reach him. With El General, you should be able to just be like, yeah, that's no problem, and you activate him and he will then automatically kill the guy. Even if he will still do 40% ability power to all the heroes, so as the game goes along, you should be able to cast this ability probably 2 or 3 times before the end, and you should be knocking off a few heroes. So the passive ability is Opportunist. Whenever an enemy drops below 20% health, make the most of the opportunity and synchronize fire on the target for 5 seconds. So El General seems more like a character you'd keep in the back as well. You don't want him to die early on, because as soon as an enemy drops to 20%, he obviously, as it says, he will synchronize and start firing on them. And remember, once they reach 15%, when you cast his active ability, he will just kill them straight, like outright. So I feel like he should probably be more in the back. But yeah, it's not that much to say about the character really. He's a execute type hero, and he has the ability to synchronize fire on already damaged enemy heroes. And then we have Diablo. His active ability is the Jammer. Sends out a jamming signal, silencing all enemies for 5 seconds and damaging them for 50% ability power. So yeah, I mean, I like the fact that he can do silence. I do like the fact also that it's all enemies. It's a 5 seconds, it's not too bad. But the ability power damage I felt was a little bit underperforming. It's only 50% ability power. I mean, we have other heroes like archers, Clash, that do silence, and they do a lot more damage, and they do it in a large cone. Albeit this is for all enemies. Regardless, I kind of feel like they could have bumped up his damage to at least 100, like 100% ability power. His passive ability is Impaired Visuals. When switching target, he will then daze the target for 6 seconds. Okay, so here's the idea that it's not a bad idea for the daze. Again, I don't know. I kind of feel like he should be like a tank because it looks like he. I don't know what he has on his back though because I really don't know. That could be the jammer. But if he's going to be anything like a frontliner or a tank, then switching him lanes, or if you have him in the back, basically the idea would then be that once you move him one lane, up, middle, or down, that target in that lane that he will start targeting will be dazed for 6 seconds, which means they won't do anything for 6 seconds. And I kind of feel like that's a good idea. So if you move him, you could potentially completely stop the first lane from doing anything. Sorry, not the first lane, but the first row on each level to do anything. Because if you start from the bottom, you go to the middle, then you have 2 targets that are dazed, you move up to the top, then you have 3 targets that are dazed, you go back down to the bottom, you've refreshed the 6 seconds, and then you just keep doing this, which means you'll only actually have 2 people in the back, you know, on the enemy team that are actually doing anything. But, I mean, what do I know? It's, I'd have to try it a little bit, but 6 seconds is not a bad idea. It's very long. It's the longest I think I've seen so far. I mean, you do have Sonnet, you have Briggs, and then we have, I think it was Wyvern as well, who had one of the abilities. But yeah, I don't know. It's we're getting a lot of these heroes nowadays that can do this, and I don't know if that's the direction we want to go, because now we have 4 heroes with sort of the same passive ability. So, Diablo, I feel like it's not really where I would have liked him to be. The Jammer, yes, that's an interesting attribute, but bump it up to 100% definitely. And for the impaired visuals, okay, fine. I guess that can stay, because if you run the whole team, maybe this is beneficial. We'll see. Okay, so actually, guys, the first time I read this, I was like, why is this guy called El Barbecue? And then I realized, no, it's El Barbecuero. Probably wrong. I mean, all you guys who speak Spanish, please correct me, because I'm sure I'm just butchering it. Anyway, his active ability is one hit kill. He fires a kill shot at the current target, damaging them for 200% ability power. If this puts the target below 20% health, instead execute the target. Sorry, not even instead. Additionally, execute the target. So his active ability is one hit kill. Fires a shot at the current target, damaging them for 200% ability power. If this would bring the enemy target below 20% health, execute them. Okay, so it sounds a lot like you have another walker in the field. So, but with the fact that he'll execute as well at 20%. So it's not bad. 200% ability power is not wrong. Again, I mean, if you throw in Anna, 200% becomes 300% because she gives you an extra 50%. So I feel like Anna in this team with some of these heroes, they're going to completely wipe the board with the damage they bring into the game. So the passive ability is the red dot sight. When switching target, synchronize fire on the target for 5 seconds. Okay, so here's another hero who also has the ability that when he switches targets, he will synchronize for 5 seconds. So I'm curious, why do we have so many heroes? And yeah, I mean, fine. It's what it is. You have another hero that's like a synchronized fire. So I guess I don't think the synchronized fire really works with his ability, because he does 200% ability power. He'll do a lot of damage. He'll then execute the enemy, and then he has a weak passive. It'd be good if he maybe instead had something that would buff the team, like the first one, who also grants 30% weapon power while he does insane damage. But this is just me. I haven't play tested them, so this is just me reading of this. Obviously you can see it as well, but I do feel the red dot sight seems a bit underwhelming compared to his active ability. Then we have the perks from Los Extranjeros. So the faction perk is called Hostile Takeover, which means if you have 3 members, every 10 seconds a random enemy is confused into fighting for you for 3 seconds. Additionally, whenever an enemy is killed, all allies damage their target for 25% ability power and heal for the same amount. Okay, so From what I can see now, so as soon as they kill someone on the enemy team, and obviously they do have some characters that have some really nifty active abilities, they should make that possible. So if you run a 5-man team, they'll completely wipe out one guy. As soon as they wipe out one guy, all your members of the Los Extranjeros, they will receive 25% ability power that they will do instantly in damage, and then they will heal for the same amount. And this seems to be instant because there's no seconds or anything in delay. They'll just deal the damage and heal you back up. So I guess that's nice because they don't have any healing functions. They don't have any shields or anything. So these guys are just straight up damage dealers. Which also makes me worried because they don't have anything to support themselves. But yeah, so these are the guys. So this is Los Extranjeros. I'm a bit torn because they do have some characters that are super powerful, but I'm not super amazed by their faction perk. But I could be wrong. Obviously, in terms of gameplay, they could be amazing. But as it stands now, as I read it, I don't feel like the faction perk lives up to the standards compared to the cleaners, which are released in the same mode. The cleaners seem to be something that I would be pushed for more if I could. But yeah, I do see potential for some of the heroes, obviously. Some of them are quite strong and others are slightly underwhelming. So I do feel that once this orb drops, I'm pretty sure that people will start going after certain heroes once they can. Especially the damage dealer. Oh god. They 300% ability power if in stealth. That's just insane. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. And if you like the videos and you do like what I'm doing, please subscribe because it also lets me know that you guys like what I do. So I know that I'm moving in the right direction. And if you guys have any feedback, please write in the comments or send me a direct message on Discord. Anyway, thank you so much. Bye.